What's up, craft beer lovers? Today I am coming at you with a review I am super excited about. And what I have here is the Lunch IPA from Maine Beer Company. If you've watched any of my other reviews, you might know by now that Maine Beer is one of my absolute favorite breweries that I've ever encountered for a variety of reasons. First of all, just take a look at the clean, simple label, white, simple fonts. Simple. And I'm all for luxurious and decadent and elaborate designs, but what I also believe is that the packaging should reflect what's inside. And I had this feeling the first time I saw one of these bottles that what I was going to be getting was a clean and pure and simple beer, and that's exactly the kind of experience they deliver. It's a pure, clean, simple beer. That's what I've had maybe 4 different styles of Maine beer at this point. And they've all just been world-class and nothing crazy, just simple and good. And if you want to learn what a style is supposed to taste like, you can drink a Maine beer version of it, and you know you're getting an incredible representation of what the best of that style can be. If I sound like a fanboy, it's because I am one. So they've got this clean style, they've got this clean presentation, this clean taste. And you might also know IPA is my favorite style. It's what got me into craft beer in the first place years ago, and the voyage to find, the best IPAs, according to me at least, is a major motivating reason I keep going back to the store. I've had this one before, and it is definitely in my top 5. At least it was last time. Other company that you might find in there would be the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale IPA, the Lone Pint Yellow Rose IPA brewed in Texas, basically anything by Odell's, the Mountain Standard, or just the Odell's IPA, or the Rupture, any IPA by Odell is going to be fantastic. And the other thing is, all 3 of these types of IPAs, 3 or 4 IPAs I've named so far, the different breweries, it's crazy because they all taste different, I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this you understand, but it's crazy how they can all be so good. Whoops, the wind's getting a little bad. They can all be so good, they can all be so different, and yet they can all be clearly the same style of beer. So that's one of the glories of IPAs, and of course, the U.S. just absolutely crushes in terms of making some of the best IPAs in the world. Probably the best IPAs in the world come from the United States, I mean. So let's just get a little information, basic info on this beer. It's called Lunch. It's named after a whale that lives off the coast of Maine. So here's what it says. Lunch is a special whale that has been spotted off the Maine coast since 1982. That officially makes that whale older than me, because I was born in '87. She has what looks like a bite taken out of her fin, which adds to her unique character. We dedicate this beer to her determination and persistence. Keep on swimming. Well, I can relate to that on some days. I'm sure you can too. Keep on swimming, guys and gals. So then at the bottom of that, it says what they always say on their bottles. Thank you for drinking our beer. You enable us to continue to do what's right, to take care of our earth and the creatures that live on it, take care of our staff, and to keep making better beer. Learn more at mainbeercompany.com. And I suggest you do look at mainbeercompany.com. I love their website. I have also bragged about their website in terms of its visual appeal, in terms of the experience you get when you go to it. I love it. I've been to a lot of bad, kind of shoddy brewery websites, and this one's pretty good. Even their brewery just itself, any pictures you find, it looks clean. It just looks like they've got their concept, They're a clean, pure brewery that's simple and makes just incredibly good, fresh beer. Now, speaking of fresh, when was this guy bottled? Well, I'm pretty excited. Today is December 7th, and this was bottled November 3rd. So we're talking just 3-4 days or so since this was made. I love fresh beer. Fresh IPA is when you wanna get your hands on it. And then, of course, just going around the bottle a little more, it says, Maine Beer Company, Freeport, Maine, Lunch India Pale Ale, do what's right. It's a 7% ABV, and also, maybe, I'm in Texas, I'm in Austin. I don't know what the prices are like for this beer, but you're definitely paying for a premium beer. I think I paid $8 for this bottle. Obviously, it's a little bigger than a single can, but not that much. So that's not a problem, in my opinion. I like it. I love this company so much that I'm going to pay more or less anything they ask to a certain point. But just pointing out, this is definitely a premium beer, and partially I think that's because it's getting down from Maine to Texas so quickly. So I don't know if that's different in other states. Obviously, if you're close to it, it'd be probably less expensive. Okay, I don't have that much more to say about it before I'll go over a couple last notes before we crack it open and taste it. They gave their own flavor profile to this beer on the website, not on the bottle. It says, flavor profile, orange, grapefruit, and lemon, with pine and herbal undertones, tropical notes of guava and papaya, with subtle caramel and malt sweetness. The hops are Amarillo, Centennial, and Simcoe. The malt is American Two-Row, Carapils, Caramel 40L, Munich 10L, and Red Wheat. I've mentioned many times before, I'm learning hops tastes a little bit over time. I still feel like I have no real clue at all how malt contributes to the specific taste. Sometimes I think I would have to start brewing myself to get any actual clue what the malt's effect is. Anyway, usually I crack it open on camera and pour it on camera. This time I might beg off and go pour it because I am going to take a photo, as I always do. And the photo I have in mind is a tiny bit more elaborate than usual. I'm going to be posting it on my Instagram, at Craft Christian Reviews on Instagram. But what I'm going to do is, unusually this time, I'm going to pause the video now, go pour it, and I'll come right back to do some smelling and tasting. And the head will still probably be on it. I'll make it quick. So I'll be back in just a sec. And we're back. So I hate to cheat you guys out of seeing it get poured, but I think you've got the idea. This beautiful kind of tropical, cloudy, not opaque, but not translucent either. Man, that's pretty. Look at the light. They just make such pretty beers. Oh my God, the way the sun comes through them, the way the head is just this cloud, milk white, beautiful. You can see where it went up to when I originally poured it. Very, very foamy, very fresh. It gives the impression of being very fresh. It smells just like a beautiful IPA, tropical IPA smelling. I definitely smell those tropical fruits right away. It's crazy. I gave an IPA. I've started doing this. I gave an IPA to my girlfriend and also to my mom on a different time. I kind of phrased it in a way so that they would tell me what flavors they tasted. And, for some of these good IPAs, they're like, oh, mango, I taste lemon, orange. And I kind of phrased it in a way that they thought it was a flavored beer. And then when I busted on them that there was, broke the news to them that there were no flavors in it whatsoever besides like hops and malt, they were just like, what? They were both like, what? They assumed that there was flavoring or juice or fruit included in the mix. If you love IPAs like I do, you know what I mean. It's like, sometimes your mind reels. You're just boggled that it could be such a fruit smell and taste without any fruit involved other than hops. I mean, it's crazy. It smells delicious. It smells delicious. Very tropical, so let's give it a taste. Woo! Just too good. Ugh. It is, as I've said before, I don't really want to try and name all the flavors I taste. I'm not that great at that. It tastes tropical, citrusy. It's not like it's not a dank taste. It's a crisp, clean, so refreshing. And it just feels so fresh. You feel like you're just drinking something that was just made, like right that afternoon. Sorry, I'm just like losing it over here. The mouthfeel is phenomenal. I mean, the carbonation to me is just right. Even maybe a tiny bit more carbonated than I would usually like, but right now with this beer it works perfectly, and really adds to that fresh. Gosh, it's just a little bitter, like an IPA should be. It's not the most bitter IPA by any stretch. You get all that tropical taste that it promised in the smell, and that's another great thing is these beers. This company, it always seems to not only look good and smell good and taste good, but they all match up. They all match up. The color, the smell, and the taste all match to each other, and so the overall experience is just very consistent and wholesome. I don't know what else to call it. I'll wrap it up here and just say, look, you've got to get stuff by Maine Beer. If you ever see it and you haven't had it yet, I would recommend it without any question at all. Just make sure it's fresh. It's one of the beers that I would feel that, in terms of expensive premium beers, it's one of the ones that I would have absolutely no hesitation telling someone to drop a little extra cash getting one of them. I haven't had one I didn't like. The Mo is my favorite. The Mo Pale Ale is number 1. This is very, very, very close behind number 2. They're almost tied. And I've had a few others. I think I had their one that was called Another One. That one didn't do it for me as much as it was good. It just wasn't my favorite. And then I've also had their fall coffee stout, which was also excellent, but different than I expected, and I'm not sure I was quite ready for it. But I also reviewed that on another video in here. So get Maine Beer. Get Maine Beer. Support your local breweries, but support Maine Beer Company also. And if you like this kind of content, subscribe, give me a like on the video, leave me a comment, most of all, if you have any thoughts on Maine Beer Company. If you have had any other ones that I haven't mentioned yet, like the Dinner Double IPA, I need to get my hands on that one. Or any other top-class IPAs that you think I should be adding to my list of my top 5. And go find me on Instagram. Like I said, I take photos of like all these beers. I feel like there's actually more activity on Instagram than there is on YouTube for craft beers, or at least in my side of things there is. And I think you should come see the picture I took for today's beer. I like it a lot. Got some of my favorite things in life in that picture, okay? So I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, enjoy whatever you're drinking, take care of your loved ones, and take care of your local craft breweries. See you in the next one. Peace.